Hi, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you've joined me today. I'm Kelly Pitts with Create with Kelly, and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator, an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Lubbock, Texas. So I'm thrilled that you're here watching, whether you're watching live on YouTube or live on Facebook, or if you're watching the replay. I'm just happy to have you. I'm working on a series of cards in the Silly Old Bear suite from Stampin' Up. I've designed 13 cards already. This is number 13 in that series. And I have a PDF that has all the measurements for all the cards. And that link is in the video below. So if you're interested in that, or if you need any of the products to make your own cards, I'm happy to help you with those. Would love for you to shop with me. That's how I build my business. People like you watching and enjoying my inspiration and creativity and sharing it with other crafty friends. So let me know when you come on if you would leave your name and where you're from. I would love to know that and share it. So thank you for tuning in again. I will switch the camera over so we can make this card. Okay. We are starting with okay, we got to show you. That's the opened up card. Now, wait a minute. I got to show you the magic here. Okay, here we go. Here's the way it would come flat. And then when you open it, what? It spins. See? So Pooh Bear is climbing up the tree. So before you actually close the card, it's better if you'll spin it a few times and then lay it flat so that if they open it properly, it'll spin. Hope it's hard to get it to show right on camera, but we have the 100 Acre Woods in here, and then we have some more of the DSP here where it shows Pooh has climbed to the top of the tree. So this one, he's kind of toward the bottom of the tree, then he's up at the middle, and then he's climbed to the top. And then he's here being happy with his little jar of honey. So I want to show you how to create this card. Have you ever made a spinner card before? Let me know. I know I did a heart one time in a Valentine class, but I don't know that I've done any other spinners besides that one. So this is kind of fun. All right, we're going to start with an 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, typical card base size. And this is Golden Glow, one of the new in colors for 24 to 28, 26 to 28. And we'll do, let's see, what do we want to do next? Let's go ahead and stamp the inside before we start our spinner part. And we're going to use Mossy Meadow. And let's go ahead and get this creased over. This is going to be in the middle of the card, as you can see here, and then fold it over. And then we're going to attach a piece of crumb cake to it. So we'll go ahead and get that burnished really well. We'll grab our Stampin' Pierce mat that I've just got a grid paper cover on to protect it. Then we're going to stamp our little Sweet Words and Labels label frame. And I'm taking the ink to the stamp instead of vice versa, because it's a big stamp and it's much easier to get good coverage that way. So we'll stamp that. I'm going to go a little more toward the top and leave a little more room at the bottom and try to center it between the sides. And I want a little more room at the bottom because we're going to put Pooh Bear there. All righty, give that a quick clean with our chamois. And then we'll do, it never hurts to keep looking up. We'll do that in our early espresso color to tie in some of the colors on in the trees and on the honey pot and on Winnie the Pooh. So that way this this could be just a card of encouragement. It could be whatever you want. And if you wanted to say happy birthday, you could say happy birthday. This card could work for anything you want to do. Just change out the sentiment. Okay, we'll get that one cleaned off while I figure out the next step, which I think is going to be, let's just go ahead and start our, I'm going to start our little, showing you how to use the die as a stencil. Hopefully I have my window sheet from my other card handy. Yay! I put it back where it belongs. I'm so excited. So this is the die right here, the little honeycomb shaped die. We don't have a stamp that stamps honeycombs, but this die is what I used. And I cut out of the window sheet to do that. And now we're going to take the Golden Glow color of ink, which is in our new magnetic ink pad. And we're just going to set that here. And we're going to kind of do this all the way around so that we get this effect kind of all on that paper. Now, if you have that other paper that it's like, it's not Life is Beautiful. I can't remember what it's a Beautiful Life or something like that. There's one sheet of honeycomb paper in this Golden Glow that is in a different pack of, it's in a different suite altogether, but it is in the current May to August catalog. Whoop! See, I forgot to stamp off, and look what I get. See, there's a big difference there, but we want a variety, so it's gonna be okay. So when you tap off like that, that gets the gunky part off. I'll show you up close here how much smoother these are. Can you see this difference? How it just kind of clumped up a little bit versus here. So it's just always better to tap that off. I'm going to go up a little, get a little bit of that coming off the edge. And when you cut your window sheet, cut it bigger than you think you're going to need it, because I cut a smaller one and it was really kind of difficult to hold the smaller window sheet on the paper and not run off the edge where it shows that line. And you don't want that showing on your card. So make it big, make it big. And you can make it even go over onto the back if you want a little bit. I think that's kind of a little design technique there. So I'm just turning it as I go, trying to get a little bit different shapes, different bits showing. Oop, did it again. Kelly, y'all do what I say, not what I do. I usually do fairly well at this. I don't know why I'm forgetting today. I think it's because I'm about to leave for book club very soon and need to get my act together. Do I want just one in the middle? I guess we'll give this one a little space. See what we think. Okay, isn't that pretty? How we can just make a fun background. And then I'm probably going to go ahead and add a little bit more yellow in here too. And you could do a little honeycomb inside too if you wanted. But I'm just going to add that little touch of yellow or Golden Glow. You can see how easily our stamp pads open now, the magnetic stamp pads. They just open easy, easy. It's great. Okay, and you know what I did? I did that wrong. I was supposed to do that on this piece. Dadgummit. Well, we can do it backwards because I did that in the class. Okay, we're going to try it this way. Because what we're trying to do is cut 2 layers of paper with the same die cut. All right, the same die. So that we have that exact same hole. But I'll put it on the inside like this. I don't think it really matters whether you do it on the outside or the inside. But we're going to try it on the inside. And I'm just going to try to line this up. You can try to tape this or glue just around the outside and not here, and then try to fish your fishing line in between. Because see, that's what we've got to do, is sandwich the fishing line in between the 2 layers. So that's how you make a spinner card. But we're just going to die cut this. And I guess we'll go ahead and try to do it here. It's a lot. I hate to have to move my camera. I think I'm just going to die cut it over here. And let's get the die out, Kelly. And this is the little bit larger one. Let's see, is it that one or this one? I think it's the big one. Yes. Okay, we're going to use the largest die. And always check your die before you use it and make sure you don't have anything stuck in the little holes. So you can see the diamonds there in an ivory color that we've used before and didn't poke them out. So if you get those out, you'll get a much better cut, much cleaner cut. Okay, I'm just, like I said, I'm going to take this over to the die cutter and cut these out at the same time with this die. I'll be right back. Hope y'all are having a great day. I'm just lining this up where I've got an even border side to side and left to right, top and bottom, and trying to get both of those pages lined up together. So hope, cross your fingers. Otherwise, I'm going to have to try it again and cut another piece. Let's see if that went through. I only ran it through once. I wanted to show you. I think that's going to work. I didn't want to push it all the way until I found out. Yay! Okay, so we have 2 layers here that we can use on a different card. And I have found that if it's stuck like this one, it really gets in those grooves. But if you'll take your pick tool and just go along it like that, this is a great tip for die cutting, is to use your take your pick tool like that between the die and the paper. And then you're all set. We've got 2 different pieces of it that we'll be able to use. And see, they both have the detail. We just have to poke out those diamonds so we can use those on another card. Isn't that fun? All right. So we will take, oops, that's my, okay, I'm going to go ahead and put the die up before I misplace it. Y'all know how I am. If you've watched my videos before, I can certainly lose something while sitting in one spot. Y'all ever have that trouble? Okay, we're not going to glue this yet. We've got it die cut. So we're going to do our little spinner part shortly. I think that's going to work. So we can trim it up a little if we're off. Okay, yay! I think that's going to work. It looks like it's a little bit off right there. So we could probably cut that, trim it just the tiniest bit on the side there to make that a little cleaner. So this side, I mean, I just shaved a hair. Well, that evidently was not enough because that didn't even cut. It was so small. Now, okay, that's the side we cut. That's what we want on the left. Okay, we will come back to that shortly. So that's going to fit right there. Great. All right, now we're ready. We've got this all set, the center part. We're going to, that should be trimmed a little bit too, I guess. Or not. We can do it either way. It can go all the way, or it could have a border like this one. See, I cut this a little smaller and it has a border all the way around. But this one will just go edge to edge, end to end, top to bottom. We'll just glue that right there. And we should be good to go. Right? Or do we want it? I think that'll be fine. We're just going to glue it. We've got a lot of that golden glow going on, so we'll just make this work. Going to put our little glue mat up. So you're going almost to the score line and you're trying to get this even. You want to get that top and bottom. If you go this large, you can go 4 by 5 1/4 and make it smaller and have a border. This just happened to be a little bit bigger piece. This went all the way to 5 1/2. So totally up to you, whatever kind of piece you have cut. Now this one, the original card, I did the 100 Acre Woods. You can see that texture. Isn't that gorgeous? That comes in the Silly Old Bear suite. And then I made like a little finger hold so that people know to go ahead and open that. They know that's not the whole card. Because we're trying to tell a story with this card and we want them to see the whole thing. So I thought it would be fun to try. Oh, there we go. That's the problem, is because this is not large enough now because I did the full size on that. Did not think of that. Did not think of that. Okay. Well, we're going to use the tree ring. I'm not cutting that off. So we're going to have to cut a new one of these. We'll have to cut it to 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. Let's see, or by 4, maybe. I think this one's 4. Let's see what size it is, and we'll just cut us another one real quick. Yeah, it is 4. So it's 5 1/2 by 4. We'll get that trimmed. Five and a half by 4. Well, it's usually 5 1/4 by 4. And that's probably what my brain was trying to tell me. That little niggling thought back in the back of my head that I should go ahead and cut that other piece smaller. So it'd be better to cut this one smaller. Okay. So if we do that, it's going to cover the whole thing, which is what we want. And we're going to run this through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with just the base plate, number 1. And we'll run, this is the new tree ring folder. Here's what it looks like. And it's a July 26th online exclusive. That's one of the wonderful things about being a Stampin' Up demonstrator, is because we get to order early so that we're able to show our customers what new items are coming up. And this is one of them. It works well with this suite, and it will work well with a lot of, sorry for the noise, a lot of fall suites, I think, with the wood tree ring look. And that is, one side is embossed and one side is debossed. So you can really use either one. But isn't that great texture? Don't y'all love that? Beautiful. All right, so that's what we're using on the inside here. And I'm just going to glue it to this little strip. right here that's about, I think that's about a 1/4 inch that we folded back and scored. Okay, so I'm lining that up. So I really would recommend liquid glue here, so you do have a little room to wiggle. Trying to get that straight at the top and bottom, and line it up on that edge over here. I think that was quite enough. You might need to use some tear and tape, but then you won't have any wiggle room. So kind of a tricky decision. Okay, I think that's going to work. Give it time to adhere properly. So that will open up like that. Yay. And if we want a little finger hold here so that they know to open it, this may open up on its own there with that curvature that it made when we embossed it. So maybe people will know to do that anyway. We'll decide. We can add that anytime, but I think we will. And you could just take any, like if you have a 1-inch circle punch or 3/4 inch circle punch or whatever kind of circle punch. This one is retired, I think. We don't have one right now, but I'm just going to barely put a little bit in the middle, and I'm guessing at where the middle is. Y'all could measure it if you want. You just need to make sure you don't go in so far that it would show from the front. That would be not cool. Okay. Now, let's see what's next. We can go ahead and glue this on the inside. We've got this piece, and I have cut a bunch of leaves and acorns out that are also dies in this set. We're going to put those here and put this over it just to continue the story from the outside to the inside. And we're just gluing that flat. This is going to go, the glue will go through those holes. So I'm going to lay that there. Then I'm going to go ahead and put this on because this can all be flat. And I just cut these out of this paper because I didn't want to waste it. Didn't want to waste paper, and that doesn't show, obviously. So make sure here that you're kind of centered. I'm kind of lining it up with that edge just so it doesn't show. You don't want that showing here. And then we're going to add this to it with an even border all the way around. And I just cut, there's only one spot on the 12 by 12 paper that has this bear at the top, I think. The Pooh Bear at the very top. And I cut that section off. And I think I showed you in one of the previous videos how I cut the entire sheet to get this. So you maximize it. That probably could have been over to the right a little bit more, but that's okay. And this is not very straight. But, okay, here we are. We're back to this. Now, what we're going to do is go ahead and the one I want on the front is the one that's lower, the Pooh Bear that's lower. Okay, so he's lower in the tree here, and then when it flips, he's going to be higher in the tree. So I'm going to pop this one up because it is on the front. And it has the 100 Acre Woods paper on the back. Isn't that cute? Where it's got the little map of the 100 Acre Woods. And we'll keep the middle up too here. Okay, and then we can't glue the back on yet. And I guess we could, no, we want him flat. We want him flat on the back. Okay, so I'm going to set this down like that. I'm going to use our, see if I have any tear and tape in here. Yes, I do. Hoorah. Okay, we're going to put a piece of tearing tape right here. And a piece right here. Doesn't have to be quite that big. And then if you wanted to, you could cut one in half vertically or horizontally, whichever way you hold this, I guess, the skinny way. So that you have two really thin pieces. And it doesn't have to be straight. It's just to cover the rest of that area right there. Now we're going to cover right here. So we've got that whole area covered. Now we're going to take the backing off. Whoops, if you use your bone folder on there, it'll adhere a little better. Then you can use your take a pick tool to get the backing off. And we're just going to take fishing line because it doesn't show as much. You could use thread if you wanted. And you could definitely use thinner fishing line. I just ordered it online to go pick it up, and this is way too heavy. So it probably shows more than it should. But I'm just going to do that right there. Try to get it in the middle. And it is easier to make the fishing line. Cut it longer than you need. So, and you can cut it off after you get it on here. Oops. We don't want that. We don't want it peeling the paper off. So if you see that happen, just use your bone folder again. Take your take a pick tool from the other end and try to pull just the backing. And usually you have good luck with one end or the other, at least. So there we go. Okay, now we're going to get this line taut. We're trying to get it right in the middle there and get it really taut. Then I'm going to go ahead with one more piece of tearing tape over the top of that to hold it in place. Right where we have it. Get it really like crease it on either side of that line. Fishing line. We're just trying to get it, make sure it stays. Okay, then we're going to take this piece that we had where he's lower, where Winnie is lower in the tree. He's going to go back behind this way. Okay. And then this is going to go on top right here, and it's all going to be sandwiched in there. And then we're going to put this piece over to hold that tight. Okay, so I'm going to glue this whole thing. I'm going to put glue on it, except not all the way to the ends, because this only doesn't go all the way to the ends or sides. Okay, so that I'm going to put right here. And then line this up over it. Try to get that straight, because you got to have room in here for this to spin. So it really needs to be pretty even on all four sides because you want it to spin. Okay. Now, if you wanted to try to put tearing tape over that, you could, but I'm just going to double this up, put more glue on this. So we've got glue on the piece of espresso layer, and we've got glue on this piece. Trying to get that right where we want it. Okay. And yes, it spins. Okay. So now we're going to attach this piece. We're going to glue it. And I think I'm just going to leave that on there like that, since it's really nice and taut and in there. I don't want to risk pulling it off. When I pull the back off here, I don't want to mess it up. So I'm just going to glue over that. So this whole piece, and this could be done either way, from the front or from the back like I'm doing it. But I think this might actually be easier than what I originally did. Okay, we've got glue everywhere. And hopefully I kept this the right way. I should have auditioned that first because I'm not sure it's symmetrical. I don't think that's the right way. Let's try this way. Yes, so make sure it lines up because it can be a little bit different from one side to the next. Okay, looks pretty good from the back. Let's see how it looks from the front before it gets totally stuck. Okay, that could come up just a little. Let's see if we can move that up a little bit. Probably not at this point. But it's close enough. So, you've seen the magic happen. Now, we're going to flip it like that 2 or 3 times. Put it against this. And then when they open it up, yay! It works great. Okay, so let's get this off. We'll go ahead and trim that right to the edge. And trim this right to the edge. There we go. So that should be good to go. Yay! We need to add our little Winnie the Pooh on the inside. And hopefully I haven't lost my little honey pot. It's right here. Does anybody have any questions yet? If y'all have any, even if you're watching the replay, if you want to put a comment, I'm happy to help you. If I can. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cut his arm so he can hold this honey pot. Just kind of cutting it. Don't cut it all the way off. You just have to make like a little flap. Then come over here to this one. Don't cut it all the way. And certainly don't cut it all the way off. And this is kind of backwards. I see why left-handed people have trouble with regular scissors. Okay. So what we want is for his little arm to stick up here and here so that we can put the honey pot in between. And let's go ahead, before we put it down, I'm trimming it just a little bit more. And we're going to go ahead and use our shimmer brush for the top of the honey. And then you can leave it like that, or you can just add a little bit more trim at the top and the bottom of the honey label. And while we let that dry, let's go ahead and color this frame. And I just kind of go around the little dots like that. And then just with a one stroke, try to keep it between the lines as much as you can. It's a really watercolory image. It's not exact at all, so it doesn't really matter. If you get out of the line a little bit, don't panic. It's a handmade card. Everybody will just appreciate that you cared enough to send them a handmade card. They won't notice the mistakes. That's how they know it's handmade, partly. See, I got off a little bit there, but overall, it's not very noticeable. And I think we're going to make these little bears glow. We want him to stand out a little more there. There. And here. Cute. Isn't that cool? Y'all let me know if you've made spinner cards before or not, or if this is your first time to try this. Trying not to wipe that glitter off there. Oh, that fits on the end of the shimmer brush. That's handy. Well, let's make this one shimmer a little bit since we made the other one shimmer. we'll kind of go around in the parts that the artist has shaded darker. Like here on the back, we're going to make this little piece. This will be shadowed. That would be shadowed in his ears, probably coming out here a little darker. Kind of helps with the 3D effect a bit. Okay, then I'm going to blend that in with the Wink of Stella so that he's shiny all over, but he's not the shimmer color, golden glow, shimmer all over. And that part didn't matter because we're going to have the honey jar there. I'm going to sparkle that up too. And you've got dies. You can cut out a jar and the honey oozing over if you'd rather do that than cutting this out of the DSP. It's totally up to you. But I'm going to stick him kind of flat and just leave his arms loose and glue that honey jar there. I think I'm going to stick that on with the glue dot. To him, get it in position. And then we'll glue him. But since he's way on the inside of this card and it has several layers, I'm not going to dimensional him. Winnie. How cute is that? Let's see, did we do that one in the center or where? Oh, we did it on the side over here. Yeah, I kind of like that on the side. I can't believe I got that so crooked. And then we're just going to leave his arms loose there so it looks a little more 3D. You could put a dimensional under there if you want, but I think that's cute. How encouraging is that? It never hurts to keep looking up. So it folds over like that, folds over like this. We've got a little spinner. You could add a little shimmer to some of these if you wanted, or you could add some embellishments if you would like. We've got the gold that match the golden glow. We've got these are type of pearls, iridescent pearls, I think they're called, or something like that. We've got butterflies, which I don't think necessarily work with the honeycomb, but we'll just use these pearls. If I can find my take a pick tool. Here we go. And does anybody watching have any comments or questions or anything while we're going along here? We're almost done. I think we're going to put one big one. Ooh, that's really big, isn't it? That's really almost too big. I think I'm going to go with a medium and too small. Let's do that. And one of these. And one up top. So we have our little 3 embellishments. So this is, you know, like I said, it's hard to get exactly right, but we got close, didn't we? I think that's pretty cute. Let's put these specialized pearls up. And y'all can decide which one do you like better. Oh, thank you, Pat. I guess you go by Pat or Patty. Pat or Patty? Glad you're here. And made by Marley. Desiree. Thank you. Glad you love it. So be sure before you send it that you go ahead and turn it like that. And then when you lay it down in the card, in the envelope to mail or to give to somebody, Make sure you've got the raised one, the one that's on dimensionals. And then when they open it, it should spin. Yay! Patty, yes. Okay. And which one do y'all like better? Do you like the texture of the, for this particular card, do you like the 100 Acre Woods texture or the tree ring texture? Because you've got it kind of showing a little bit behind Winnie the Pooh. Y'all think it matters? Do you like either one? See, this one's getting looser. I kind of did it a different way, and I didn't get that string as taut, or that fishing line. But I do like the gold shimmer better. Don't y'all think he shows up better? But do y'all have an opinion about the 100 Acre Woods or the tree ring folder? Which one looks better on this particular card? They both have really great texture, don't you think? Okay, 2 for tree rings. All right. Well, thank y'all so much for coming. I appreciate it and hope you'll share this video with your crafty friends. And if you need any products, they're listed below. Everything I used on all the 13 cards that I've done videos for. And I also have a PDF with all the measurements. It's only got 10 of them so far, but I'm going to add the other 3. And we'll just switch this over and say thank y'all so much. Do y'all have any questions before I head off? I'm headed to a book club very soon. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. It was nice to meet y'all. Or where y'all from? You 2 new ones who are tuning in. Here's my spinner card. Yay. All right. Nice to meet you both. Okay. Keep me on your list. Please put me down for notifications and you'll find out when I have another video. So we got a lot of fun times ahead. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, you're from Georgia. Good to have you. Thank you. Bye, Patty. And bye, Desiree or Marley, whichever one you are. Thanks. Bye-bye.